A very good evening to you wherever you're watching us from tonight. It is the 24th day of September 2022, the last day of this month. We have a couple of stories in store for you, but first, the headlines. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua among thousands of mourners in Baringo Deputy Governor's Charles Kipng'ok burial ceremony. Train derails at Mamboleo, causing traffic jam on Kisumu-Kakamega Road. Nyamira family cries for help from well wishers as kin set to undergo heart surgery of a rare cardiac condition. And weatherman urges farmers to make good use of the October-November short rains. Welcome to the broadcast. We are streaming this broadcast live on Facebook and YouTube at KUTV_Kenya. I'm in the company of SHEILA KINYAGA, a sign language interpreter tonight. My name is ODIDA. Let's get started. Deputy President Rigathi Gachagua has led mourners in the burial ceremony of Baringo Deputy Governor Charles Kipng'ok in Baringo Eldama Ravine. Among the attendees who arrived early for the event were Governor Benjamin Cheboi and Rift Valley Commissioner Mohamed Maalim. On September 14, Kipng'ok passed away aboard a Kenya Airways aircraft minutes before it took off for Mombasa, where he was expected to join other county bosses for the Council of Governors induction. Also in Kisumu County, a passenger train has derailed off its tracks today at the Mamboleo flyover in Kisumu County. Following the accident, motorists using the busy road endured long hours in traffic. Kenya Railways has said that the skid was caused by heavy siltation and the dumped waste at the Mamboleo intersection. The train was heading to Kisumu from Nairobi. In a statement by Kenya Railways, they have said that none of the passenger coaches were affected. A family in Nyamira County is in dire need of assistance following a wave of unfortunate events. First, disease and house fire, reducing them to despondency. Enoch Mecha urgently requires funds to undergo a heart disease surgery referred to as LHD low and a comprehensive medical examination on suspected kidney failure ailment.
36-years-old Enoch Mecha is diagnosed with a heart ailment called LHD low. The ailment was detected before he lost his job in Eldoret, prompting him to return to his rural home at Kemera in Manga Sub-County, Nyamira. The family is dogged with lack of funds for emergency medication, school fees, food, and personal effects. After exhausting medicine donated by well-wishers, Mecha needed money to manage the condition while awaiting a surgical operation which cost Kenya shillings 1.5 million.
Tangu 2006 nimekuwa nikienda hospitali mbalimbali ndogo ndogo kwa sababu sikuwa na uwezo. Sasa imeenda mpaka nikalemewa, lakini ikafika 2008 nikaenda MTRH ambayo iko Eldoret Mwiri Farol. Nikapima lakini nikalemewa. Sasa waliniambia kuwe na 1.5 million ndio nienda kupima ugonjwa wa moyo na ugonjwa wa kidney. Sasa ikafika mahali nikalemewa.
LHD is a housekeeping protein expressed in all living cells with the highest activities found in the heart, liver, muscles, kidneys, lungs, and blood cells. The family is struggling to access food, clothing, and fees for the children, one of whom has dropped out of school after their property went up in smoke when the house was razed.
Watoto watatu. Mtoto wa kwanza ni msichana ambaye ako form 2 saa hizi vile tunaongea hivi. Hata ninasaidiwa, wengine walinisaidia ndio wanalipanga school fees. Na kijana ndio wa pili ako shule. Hata wamefunga leo lakini alisaidiwa tu kuletwa mpaka hapa mji wa Kemera. Na mwingine hata tangu vile tulihama hajaenda shule mpaka saa hizi vile tunaongea hivi. Sasa hii second term hakuingia shule hata siku moja.
Ruth Nyaboke, wife to Enoch, broke down when she narrated the grim ordeal of the family, which does not own land, went through. Initially, she could perform menial jobs to buy drugs for the husband and provide for the family subsistence, that being before the inferno struck. Nyaboke is passionately appealing for help from well-wishers, the government, and humanitarian organization through the M-Pesa account number 0726095815. Joseph Thuku, KUTV.
Thank you, Thuku, for that report. Now, farmers in Embu County have been asked to make good use of the coming short rains. The county agricultural officers urged farmers to plant early, maturing and drought-resistant crops. Kenya Meteorological Department said that the county, as well as the whole country, is expected to experience low amounts of rainfall from October to November this year.
According to weather specialists, the amount of rain expected in the country in the month of October and November this year is too low, a situation that is forecasted to be below normal to curb food shortage. According to Embu County Meteorological Officer Charles Mutisia, the rain's onset will be between the 4th weeks of October to 1st week of November, highly noting that the duration is not adequate for many crops to reach maturity. Mutisia thus asked farmers to liaise with agricultural extension officers to get advice on how to make good use of the rains in terms of suitable seed selection in the ecological zones.
Hivyo kwa kifupi ni kusema kuwa mvua haitakuwa la kutosha vile katika Embu zima. Sana sana itakuwa duni zaidi.
Speaking in Embu County in a meeting with stakeholders that aimed at formulating an advisory message for farmers, Embu County Crops Officer Patrick Njeru asked the farmers to prepare the farms early with minimal tillage to conserve moisture before the onset of the rains.
Vyema tutayarishe mashamba yetu kwa mapema na tutumie ile jinsi inafaa. Tumeelezwa hapa kwamba tubadilishe jinsi yetu ya kutayarisha mashamba na kulingana na ile utaalamu wa watu wa hali ya anga. Tumeambiwa kwamba mvua itakuwa pungufu, itakuwa kidogo kuliko ile tunatarajia.
Lakini tufanye diversified farming ambayo inachukua mimea yote ambayo tunalima kuwa ni ya maana.
However, the experts challenged both the national and county governments to come up with measures that will help the country shift from rain-fed to irrigated agriculture through construction of dams and water ponds. Israel Umwai, KUTV.
Siaya Governor James Orengo is now challenging President William Ruto and his Kenya Kwanza team to stop making excuses and implement what they promised Kenyans during the campaign period. Speaking at the Siaya water treatment plant, Orengo lamented the fact that in the short time Kenya Kwanza has been in power, its leaders have abandoned their promises. Orengo said that Kenya Kwanza is centered on how to wield and survive in the reins of power by any means, and has reminded them that Kenyans are keenly watching their leadership and that they will be judged according to their promises, whether they will implement them or not.
Power for power's sake is not a solution for the lives of patriots who have struggled to bring change to this country. So remember that you'll be judged according to your promises I know there was a lot of excitement when you were talking about your blueprint, your vision, which I'm seeing less and less being talked about. Our detractors, now that they have tasted power, are talking less and less about the promises they gave and talking more and more about how to wield power and survive in the reins of power by whatever means. Kenya is watching, Kenya is listening, the whole world is watching and is listening, and we are not going to give up. Our duty is not to attain power, but make Kenya a fairer and a just society for the prosperity of all.
All right, we are taking our first short break here at KUTV. We still have a couple of stories in store for you, so stay tuned.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause? Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
The percentage in which government is giving opportunities to this specific type of groups under the AGPO, like what percentage has the government given?
No, but like I said, you see, when a budget is done for every year, every ministry will be able to place their budget for it. But whatever is given to them, 30% of the budget for that ministry is dedicated to AGPO. 30%. So if let's assume, for instance, that a ministry is given 2 billion, for instance. Now, 30% of 2 billion would be about 600,000? 600 million. That will be dedicated to AGPO. And therefore, when you go to a ministry, as a young person, as a person living with disability, 600 million is actually meant for you.
This is The Agenda with Benturo Komboka and Colonel Retired Cyrus Oguna.
Welcome back. Thanks for staying with us. Let's continue the bulletin. Now, there are many reasons to want a guard dog: for personal protection, to keep your property safe, or as a living doorbell for when a visitor arrives. Unfortunately, guard dogs often get a bad reputation for being vicious or dangerous, but that's not entirely accurate. In reality, the very same traits that make these breeds the best protectors also make them incredible family pets. Our reporter Samson Jura takes us through the world of protection and guard dog training with Works Canine Academy.
Sunday, 13th June 2022, Kandisi, Ongatarongai, Kajiado County. The woman seen on the CCTV footage being attacked by 6 men armed to the teeth as she drives into her compound will forever have in her memory a time she once was fear-stricken and in total shock etched in her mind. This is just one of many incidents reported in the media of home invasion, burglary, carjacking and kidnappings. In many cases, people have been killed or acquired life-changing injuries.
Okay guys, watch him.
Dog training is now commonplace in many parts of the world. Not only are dogs trained to be obedient and well-behaved, they can also be trained for personal protection and guard work. According to Oscar Ochieng Wakuloba, owner of Utawala-based Works Canine Academy, a fully trained canine would neutralize the threat posed by robbers as seen in the Rongai video.
Good boy, finish him. House.
Oscar is a dog breeder, protection, guard work, anti-carjacking and sniffer dog trainer certified by the East African Kennel Club. He has worked with dogs for years, helping people feel safe while acquiring a companion. Today we are going to talk about what it takes to achieve the ideal protection dog.
So the working line selection, it starts from the breeding. You choose a working line male, you choose a working line female, you breed the two. But behind the breeding, you must know what you are putting into the gene pool, what you are putting in the offspring. If you are breeding a working line dog, then you should know, like this is a pedigree certificate from the East African Kennel Club. You should know what you are breeding what. For here, we have just as an example, Kilele Hobby is a shoreline dog, but the genetics of that dog are very strong in terms of protection. So when it was bred to this other beach, which is mine, which has both working line and shoreline, they produced big, aggressive, and stable temperament and dogs with good nerves of protection. Now, identification of a proper protection dog, when it starts from puppyhood, because you can also do a selection when they are adults. When you start from, you're talking about from puppyhood, you're supposed to check to look at the nerves of the dog. And with the nerves of the dog, you must look at the parents. Everything starts from the parents and the grandparents and the great-grandparents. Now, you look at the nerves of the parents, which will be reflected in the puppies. You look at, and with nerves, you're talking about two things. It's either having stable nerves or unstable nerves. Then you also look at the temperament of the dog. Temperament simply means the general well-being of the dog. The way the dog thinks, the way the dog behaves in front of people, kind of things. Then you also look at I've spoken about nerves, temperament, and the drives. So with the drives, there are different drives. So like if you're choosing a protection dog, a protection candidate, that is from puppyhood, then you're looking at a dog which has in terms of drives, a dog which has what you call the fight drive, then a dog which has a good defense drive, a dog which has stable nerves. And there's a way of testing which you're going to demonstrate here with the puppies that you have here from the pedigree lines.
Some of the dog breeds used for protection and guard work around the world include the German Shepherd dog that has gained popularity over the years in the African continent, the Belgian Malinois, the Doberman Pinscher, the Rottweiler, and the South African Boer Bull, just to name a few. These breeds are also used by the military and police for search and rescue operations. Majorly, they are referred to as the canine units. These are Bobel puppies that in a couple of months will begin training for obedience, protection, and guard work. Oscar has begun socializing them with his kids and subjecting them to everyday noises and environment to achieve stability. These dogs have to get along with other family members to whom they protect, just like Bishop, Oscar's family Boer Bull, who is twice the size of his son.
So this boy here, he's 1 year, 7 months old. He's called Bishop. Bishop is our own bred Boer Bull. So this is my son Shmaya. Shmaya can handle this dog. But when the need arises, the same dog will be able to protect him or myself. Yeah. You see, the handling is very easy, without any issue. The dog is not nervous. Yeah. It's very okay with him.
Here is Bishop in action. This is a bite suit used to train dogs on bite work by demonstrating scenarios of attacks by criminals. A dog only attacks on command. Here we see how Stipe, a GSD, reacts during a carjacking scenario.
Watch him, boy. Kid boy, fish him.
Now, I wanted to understand how the work of protection dogs, training of protection dogs is done. And because of security reasons and, of course, safety, I've done this suit which weighs around half my size. And I'm going to be attacked by a German Shepherd so that you can be able to see how this works. Of course, my heart is racing, but let's see how it goes.
Other tools and equipment used in teaching obedience include an electric collar used to send vibration and stimulations to achieve the correction and obedience desired, a prong collar used for aggressive dogs, a leash, a bite sleeve, a whip, a sausage bite tag, ball and latex Kong. It's only with the right equipment that one can achieve the ideal protection dog. Oscar advises that it is costly to maintain a dog, though this is based on breed of choice. But the question remains, how much do you value your security?
So training for Bobus and Rottweilers, we charge from 50K depending on the level of training. So by the time the dog lives here and is ready to work in your compound or work as a personal protection dog, then you're looking at, on the lower side, if it's a Bobull or a Rottweiler, you're looking at 150, 170. Yeah, that is depending on the level of training that will have been put into that dog.
In a world of order, owning a weapon may not be the best idea for protecting oneself and family, but some experts say the best line of protection for you, your family and property has 4 legs.
Good.
And a tail. Samson Jura, KUTV.
Thank you, Jura, for that report. Now, before COVID-19, they were just like any other internet user, but now they have made over 50 appearances on television shows and interviews to talk about their talent and works. Born and raised in Kenya's Huruma slums, these kids are both helping their families and making a name for themselves. We are talking about the H-Town kids, who are an online sensation, putting a smile on faces all across social media platforms. Our reporter Joyce Masharia visited them and filed the following beat.
It is Saturday morning and we find our way to the popular Nairobi's Huruma slum, an area figuratively associated with poor standards of living, with many living on below $1 a day, despite the fact that the neighborhood has for a long time been perceived as one of the criminal hubs in Nairobi County. Youth in Huruma have taken to change the image of the area through talent.
The onset, Your Excellency, hii ni ile nilisoma kule, hiyo ingine sawa. Hiyo ingine nilisahau kwa gari ya Minister for Health, lakini ni sawa.
My interest in Huruma was sparked by a group of kids who became an online sensation during the incursion of the COVID-19 pandemic. They are famously known as the H-Town kids. You may have come across some of their work on social media, mimicking political figures, news personalities, and celebrities. They have attracted the attention of international celebrities, such as Alvaro Mote, who plays the professor in the famous Netflix series La Casa de Papel or Money Heist.
For Nairobi.
Huruma Town Kids is a group of differently talented kids from Huruma Estate that started in 2019, its purpose being nurturing of talents. The group started with few kids and now they are 23 in number. It has helped in keeping the kids busy and away from the fangs of crime associated with the area.
So at first it was just ile tu kujibamba. But the more tunaget watu na to pay attention, ndio sasa tukaanza kufanya tusemeka hizi matrailers.
It's Kenya's most ambitious conservation effort.
We didn't get the tourists to help us to...
Through media interviews, the H-Town kids have gained traction, attracting people in the film industry, many wanting to cast some of them in their production through appearances on talk shows, TV interviews and adverts.
Wazazi, watoi na maitwetu. Don't be fooled.
Some of them have been able to help their families meet the cost of school fees and other needs that before their fame was a luxury. Being school-going kids, it is a challenge for them balancing work and school. They are forced at times to be away from school with permission to make a living. Most of the time, such ascent is being denied by teachers.
From Saturday, hapo ndio sasa si upatana. Hapo ndio una rehearse, either tunashoot hiyo Saturday ama tuseme hiyo wiki tuseme ni ya kurehearse. Hiyo wiki nyingine ndio ibaki. Either sale kuna holiday.
Baba Mayday.
This is Intana Njeri, the most familiar face in the group. She has starred in many of their productions and dance videos. We got a chance to see her prep for an upcoming dance video with her crew. She says they have a challenge in sourcing for costumes to do a production, forcing them to improvise, but as they say, necessity is the mother of invention.
Kuna clip mingi zenye tulifanya which nazipendanga, then kuna hii ad yenye tulifanya hii ya uwezi tucheza hiyo pia mimi naipendanga na pia ya DJ Khalid. Singine unataka kumimiku mtu lakini hiyo costume ni hard kutafuta, lakini lazima tu improvise.
Maradona this, Maradona that. I thank God for my friends, they got my back.
Davil Mwaora, the eldest in a family of two, also a familiar face in the group, gives a glimpse of their work before and during a production.
Saturday na Sunday unakuja huko kwa yani huko kwa pale tunakujanga tuna meet tu, unaangalia vitu unafai kushika ushike na unapata hiyo siku yote full, alafu mnaambiwa kesho mna shoot.
Being a lover of their work, I asked if they could include me in one of their videos. Today they are prepping for a dance video shoot. Despite being what many might call a two left feet dancer, I managed to throw some moves. Both Itana and Davil say that this has helped them live life differently and aspire to be great actors, recognized in the global stage, drawing inspiration of Oscar award winner Rupita Nyong'o and Eddie Gadegi, who are putting Kenya in the global map of the big screen.
Kubwa nitakuwa actor deadly huku Kenya. Tunaenda tuna represent Kenya vizuri, tunapiga show kali.
Mtu ajue talent yake, utry kufanya kitu yenye uko capable of.
The kids are a true testament that talent pays. Many more are encouraged to follow their dream. The world will continue inching towards being a better place.
Huruma Estate is mostly associated with crime, but the existence of Huruma Town kids has changed the perception through their talents. The kids aspire to be great artists within and beyond the country. Joyce Masharia, KUTV.
Interesting indeed. Thank you, Masharia, for that report. Now let's take a look at what's happening across our borders. Thousands of Russians are trying to flee the country to escape conscription into the military. President Putin announced the move in a televised address Wednesday as Russian armed forces have been suffering significant losses in the invasion of Ukraine in the recent weeks.
At borders in Russia's east, south and west, thousands of Russian men are trying to escape conscription. Lines of cars stretched several kilometers at the Zemolasi crossing into Georgia Thursday. There were similar scenes at the Kazakhstan and Mongolian borders. Traffic has more than doubled on Russia's frontier with Finland. Among those fleeing was 34-year-old Nikita, who did not want to give his full name.
Yes, I'm afraid.
Why are you afraid?
Because it's very big mistake for Russia, for Europe, and of course for Ukraine citizens.
Germany said it would offer protection to Russians fleeing the mobilization on a case-by-case basis. But several other European countries, including those neighboring Russia, are restricting entry for its citizens. Flights to countries that don't require a visa, including Turkey, Serbia and Dubai, are reportedly sold out. Russian citizen Alex flew to Istanbul to escape the draft.
I didn't believe that the next step will be mobilization, and I feel that not really lots of Russian people want to fight and want to be mobilized and want to go to the army.
After suffering significant losses in Ukraine, Moscow says it has begun a partial mobilization of around 300,000 reservists. There are, however, widespread reports that civilians with no military experience or training have also received draft papers.
Now they have to turn to something very unpopular and something they try to avoid and try to delay it, the official mobilization of the civilian population. There is no way of knowing how many actually will be called up, over what periods. There's no clear end to it either.
Russia denied that its citizens were fleeing the mobilization, but it could become a problem for Putin.
If the exodus is large, then perhaps they might put formal restrictions on men traveling abroad, particularly of certain age. There is general trend towards more and more kind of disillusionment and annoyance about the war, but whether it kind of reaches critical point, I'm not sure.
Many are being brought in from remote regions of Russia, like Yakutsk.
I didn't expect it. I went to the kindergarten with my daughter, and they gave it to me in the street. I came here at once. I'm fine, keeping calm. I won't be away for long, hopefully.
Protests against the mobilization have broken out in cities across Russia. This man shouted that he refuses to die for Putin. Over 1,000 demonstrators were arrested. Jailed opposition leader Alexei Navalny has called for mass protests against the war.
All right, it is 32 minutes past the top of the hour. We are taking our second short break. We are coming back with sports. Keep it KUTV.
Driving and riding without incidences on the road is such an amazing experience. But do you know while many road traffic crashes are avoidable, human behavior continues to be the leading cause. Speeding, lane indiscipline, drunk driving, distracted driving, failure to wear a helmet, and failure to use available pedestrian ways have been flagged by NTSA as the fatal 6 behaviors likely to lead to a fatal crash and serious injuries. As part of the Usalama Barabarani campaign, we request all road users to prevent these fatal 6 behaviors for their own safety and that of others. When driving, ensure your speed is within the stipulated limits. The road ahead is clear before overtaking. Stick to your lane. Keep left unless carefully overtaking. You're well rested if driving on long distances, and you never drink and drive. Usalama Barabarani starts with you. Fika Salama. This message is brought to you by the National Transport and Safety Authority and the European Union.
We bring you women who have done a tremendous job in the tech space.
Everybody was going for business, and the teachers would tell you, you know what, as a woman, try business or try agriculture. If you're a woman, follow your passion. Let passion be the drive for whatever it is that you're going to do. And remember, out here, people are here to support you.
Welcome back. Now let's take a look at what's happening in the world of sports. Netherlands conquered Kenya in the FIVB Women's Championships opener played at the Gelredome Arena in Arnhem on Friday night. The hosts overcame slow starts in the opening sets to secure victory in 3 straight sets of 25-11, 25-17 and 25-11 as Michael Shege reports.
And then down the line, it's all...
Kenya national women volleyball team Malkia Strikers started off the FIVB Championships with a defeat in 3 straight sets against the host Netherlands. Luis Omar de Mora's side enjoyed a positive start to the first 2 sets, but they both stand with the host opening a wide gap later to mark a huge setback for the underdogs. After falling short in the preliminary sets, the Kenyan Queens switched gears with Violent Makuto and Veronica Kulabat coming on for new Kolape Immaculate Nekesa and first-team regular Sharon Chepchumba in the final set. However, the changes failed to prove a point with the team's poor reception and finishing playing part in the thrashing.
Nice little touch. Just caressed.
In the midst of a dismal performance, Edith Mukuvilani was the top scorer for Kenya with 8 points consisting of 5 kills and 3 blocks, while substitute Veronica Adhiambo earned 6 points for the Strikers.
Closing in on this first.
On the other hand, Captain Anne Buits registered 15 points for the Netherlands, coming from 12 kills, 2 blocks and 1 ace. Kenya will be hoping to bounce back when they face Belgium in the lunchtime kickoff encounter tomorrow, while Netherlands face Cameroon in the late kickoff.
Harambee Starlets duo of Gentrix Shikangwa and Ruth Ingotsi have completed a move to Tanzania Women Premier League side Simba Queens. Shikangwa joins Tanzania Giants from Turkish top flight side Fatih Karagümrük after her contract with the team ended prematurely. On the other hand, Ingotsi joins the Dar es Salaam based side from Cypriot top-tier side El Champions. Both players have signed a 1-year deal each with the club. And record Kenyan Premier League champions Gor Mahia on Friday unveiled betting firm SportPesa as their new shirt sponsor on a 3-year sponsorship deal worth 240 million Kenya shillings. The deal comes barely a week after Kogalo cut links with local gaming firm Betafreak. Speaking during the vibrant ceremony held at Sarit Center in Westlands Club chairman Ambrose Racher was elated, describing their partnership with SportPesa as heavenly made. On the other hand, the firm's CEO and Kasarani Member of Parliament Ronald Karauri thanked the club, noting that the relationship is aimed at improving the players' welfare. We have come to the end of our bulletin tonight. Many thanks indeed for keeping us company. Rumba Freak is coming up next. My name is ODIDA. Our sign language interpreter tonight is SHEILA KINYAGA. Have a good night.